What's up, all you nerds and turds? It's me, it's Steve, and welcome to the indieRift podcast. I am one of your hosts, Steve Fontana, and with me this week are my bros. One of them is Andy Asimakis. How you doing, buddy?
I have a surprise for Matt.
Oh boy!
Oh boy! I'm so excited.
This is actually a pitch for why you should join our Discord, because we do fun things like Secret Santa once a year.
We do.
Oh, we do. That's true.
Yeah.
Did you get it framed?
Secret Santa 2 years ago, Matt gave me an Art the Clown poster, which was incredible. And it was like, here, this is you spending money to get it framed. He gave me an errand and an expense. That's what he got. That's what he got for Christmas.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
But
got it.
It finally came back from the frame store.
The frame store.
Check it out.
Oh my god, that's so fucking awesome, man. That looks so good.
Look at this
I like the frame. Yeah, that's dope. It's like all distressed.
It looks like blood and shit.
It's like us. We're all distressed.
We are distressed. And that other voice you hear, ladies and gentlemen, is our other host of the indieRift podcast. He's missed enough. Matt Murray. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Yeah.
We're burning the not quite midnight oil at both ends of the light bulb.
Yeah,
yep.
The bulb is burning out because there's many things we've done. Yeah, I'm changing jobs, so it's been hectic. It is the 3rd of July as of recording. The 4th of July craziness is about to happen. The weekend is almost upon us, and we do have quite a bit to talk about. But the show is kind of getting back to normal from like the summer fests and the Steam's fests and like all the fests of games where we had to cover basically like 60 games a show. But things should be getting a little bit back to normal. But before we get into what we've been playing, let's ask Andy. Hey, Andy, what's new on indieRift?
Here's a list of 60 games you should wishlist and buy right now.
Some of them are included on our show notes.
Just to blaze through this quickly, I came across a comment that was saying it's a slow month, July. It was like, it's slow, I should go outside. I was like, slow month? The fuck are you talking about, slow month? So I did an active search of like indie games coming out this month that I think we would all enjoy and like and promote. And these 15 came easily. So check it out on indieRift.com. It's a nice full list of 15 awesome games that's going to make us all broke.
It is out
by the time the month is over.
It is published right this second.
Stuff. Nobody Wants to Die is age restricted on the site, and I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for joining us for the indieRift podcast. We have so much to get into. Before we get into the indie game adventures, we do want to ask you to go and visit patreon.com/indieRift, just like our Patreon producer, Colton the Apprentice Nestler. We grow because of you. We grow because of your clicks, your views, and of course, your hard-earned dollary dues over on Patreon. So it helps us continue to grow, and you get some little bonus content out of it too. So go head over there and do the thing. We would greatly appreciate it. All right, so let's slide right into the indie game adventures, and we are going to start with Mr. Nuff, Matt Murray. Oh, a little formatting thing. I think we mentioned this on the previous show, but things are going to be slightly different here. In the indie game adventures in the past, we spoke a lot about some demos we may have played. We are pulling that out and making it its own segment. So the games in the indie game adventures are fully released games that you could buy right now or play, or free to play, whatever it may be. But they are full releases or maybe early access. But that's splitting hairs at this point. Games that you could play right now. So with that caveat, let's dive right in with Mr. Nuff, Matt Murray's first game, Against Great Darkness.
So I didn't know that I needed this game until I saw it in action. This game is a wild mix of bullet hell shmup and like Ankroyd, like a brick breaker. So
Ankroyd?
Ankroyd?
Arkanoid? Is that what you're trying to say?
I can't fucking...
Listen, I know what you were trying to say, and you had me second guessing.
Akron, Ohio?
All the letters were there. Like, all the letters were
Alaska?
there. You guys knew what I meant. It's fine.
Brick breaking.
Whatever. Yeah.
Moving on.
Brick breaker. But so you play as one of several fallen gods who's been kind of cast down to hell and you're trying to ascend your way back to heaven. You do this through a series of characters. There's a bunch of different characters you can select and unlock and all that fun stuff, and they all have different powers. And a lot of the powers revolve around juggling these discs that will fly around the battlefield. So you have like an auto shooter for most of them. They have like arrows or like an axe that you'll throw out of your character that will do some damage. And then like you'll have like a combo. It'll be like, all right, if you can juggle the discs 3 times, it'll like shoot off this magical effect and do like an area of effect damage. And it becomes this like really frantic dance between dodging all the bullets and trying to make sure your discs don't fall so that you're bouncing combos like off the wall and shooting shit everywhere. It is awesome. I have played probably more of it than I should have in the past week, which is incredible because I don't have a whole lot of time to game these days. And it has its hooks in me, like really hard. The soundtrack is awesome. The art is amazing. Unlocking all the different synergies between the items you can pick up during a run and the character that you're playing and all that fun stuff. It is like unbelievably good. It's such a cool mashup, and I highly, highly suggest you pick it up. I think it's only like, I think it's under $5 right now, or like it's like under $6 right now on Steam sale. But yeah, frantic, crazy, like, I'm gonna say Anchoroid. Arkanoid?
Arkanoid.
I've never read that word correctly in my entire life.
These things happen, you know?
Yeah, whatever, man. But yeah, it's just like it's a great mashup of all those things. And if you like those games, or if you like roguelikes, or if you like to hit balls and or discs, this is definitely a game for you. You should check it out.
Awesome. Gentlemen, do you remember Fabledom that I spoke about on the Indies Nuts podcast back in the day? City builder with a lot of cozy mechanics and no need for violence and whatever. I jumped back in after a long hiatus to see what has been updated, what's been changed, and I am happy to report that this game feels fully realized at this point. I am really happy with the changes. I was so overwhelmed by how much was different that I actually started a new game just to kind of like relearn everything. Just right off the bat, they have totally revamped or like expanded on what your hero character could actually do. If you remember, so the game's a city town builder where you're kind of part of this fairy tale where you're a leader of this nation that is meeting other nations, and you could like romance those nations, combine them, and like build these relationships. It's really fun in that way. But you get these like hero characters that you can send off to do special missions. And back the last time I played this, like those special missions were, oh, you found ruins, go and what do you want to do with these ruins? Do you want to spend 100 gold to get this resource, or do you want to spend some of your I forget what they're called, like royalty points? It's like crowns. Do you want to spend some of that for a different bonus? Stuff like that. There are now like beanstalks that you could climb and go on complete adventures in like another world with your hero. There's wishing wells. There's graveyards that you can explore with your hero. And all of these things kind of change what your game for extended periods of gameplay time. There'll be witches that you meet in the woods that could give you a temporary boon, but like at the expense of certain things. And there are tons of new buildings to build, and it's just I'm completely re-enamored with Fabledom. I put it away on purpose to let them kind of let it bake for a bit. And I'm thrilled with where it's at right now. So that's like my go-to game to like relax, watch some House MD, open up some Fabledom, click around, gather resources, build my farms and whatnot. So if you're a cozy game guy, phenomenal.
Play well on the Steam Deck?
I would say there are certain things that are a little bit of a pain in the ass. For example, moving the hero on the Steam Deck is a pain in the ass because it's point and then like right click to get them where you want them to go.
Gotcha.
So like doing that kind of thing is a little difficult. But everything else is less precise with the mouse clicking, so it's a little easier. But yeah, it's definitely more of a keyboard and mouse game for sure. But yeah, totally in love with that whole game all over again. Andreas Asimakis, you went to prison.
Oh boy.
You went to city.
You went to prison city.
You went to the prison city.
This game looks so good.
I think I discussed this game
You did.
also like Steven the Indie Nuts days, but it was just sitting in my library and I needed something that was simple, jump and shoot, and that's it. And this is like the perfect game for that sort of mindset. It's just like it's a Nintendo game through and through. It's very Shatterhand meets Power Blade, side scrolly action run and gun kind of a game. You play as like a military soldier guy with like this weird boomerang weapon contraption. And it's just it's my childhood.
It's a video game.
It's why I like
say I feel like I can see the box art for this at my local video game, like my local video rental store.
It's why I love playing games. It's games like this that I grew up with, and it's just the simple gameplay, the amazing soundtrack, and just some of the best looking sprites I've seen in a very long time. And it's like almost NES faithful in the art design. It's easy, it's fun, it's a good game to play while sitting back and watching Reba on a late night.
Oh, for crying out
I
loud.
love so much Reba. I think you've mentioned Reba in like the last 3 episodes minimum.
I will say now I'm on Suits. That's the next. That's the next.
Yeah,
the Suits came back, and I was like, "What was this show about?" So I started watching. I was like, "I get it."
Suits is back.
They did it. There's a brand new season as of now on Netflix.
I thought. Oh, okay.
Season 9, baby.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it used to be on USA.
Right?
And I was like, this shit's fucking 8 seasons long already. And I watched, and I was like, this is good. I'm gonna watch it now, and for like 8 years worth of content and play games in the background. So
I like that.
So
perfect.
I'm with you on that.
And this game also is on sale, part of Steam sale. So check it out.
There you go, Steam sale. Hell yo. All right, let's get into Matt's next game on the list, Emberward.
Yeah, Emberward, I think.
Emberward.
Like not like toward the ember, like you're warding the ember.
You're warding the ember.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, cool.
Emberward. I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
Tell me about it.
Okay. This is a tower defense game with some pretty cool, unique takes on tower defense. So you play as this guy that's trying to protect this fire. There's a bunch of different characters. It's like I haven't unlocked any of them yet. I'm still just playing with the guy. You get you get to pick at the beginning of a run a selection of like Tetramino type pieces and a set of 3 towers. And you're using these Tetraminos to build a maze and then put all of your towers kind of around the maze to ward off any enemies that are coming. And it gets really hectic pretty quickly. And this is all done via level, so you'll go like 5 waves and then select another level, and that level will have a reward. It's all splayed out on kind of like a Slay the Spire type map. It's really, really, really fun getting like hands of cards to place down, and you're like, oh, can I squeeze this here, or like, can I put that piece here, and it like will totally, absolutely annihilate the like path that you had set up, and so you have to kind of move it. But yeah, you know, you're going along, you're gaining money in every hand. You can choose to build more towers, put down more Tetraminos, or upgrade the towers that you have. It's a pretty standard fare tower defense game, like the actual game play of it. But like the dichotomy between like placing your own Tetraminos and having to use those shapes as opposed to just like placing out towers, which a lot of like path creating tower defense games happen to do. Where you're using your towers to actually make the path. You're using these Tetraminos. And one other cool thing is there are like special spots on the map where it'll be like a bow and arrow or like a sword or something. And if you place a Tetramino over that and then put a tower on that square, it'll become like more powerful, or now that tower applies poison, or now that tower has like a crazy amount of range. But yeah, I've played. I haven't played a whole lot of it. I've played maybe like 2 hours of it total, and I've been having an absolute blast. I am a sucker for these types of games. So I love tower defense games, and it's in early access, so there's only like 2 biomes, I think, is what they're calling them in the game. But I can see myself sinking a whole lot of time into this.
And Andy, for those who don't speak Matt Murray, that is also known as Tetramino.
Tetramino.
Yes, Tetramino.
I hate
name of the Tetris
you
pieces.
both. That's I think you're wrong.
No, because the next game on our list is one of mine. It's Super Anthony's Joltzi, who is a Tetris master expert.
Aficionado.
You know what? If Anthony says it's Tetramino, he's probably right.
Is there a pronunciation guide included with the game?
So I jumped back into Super Anthony's Joltzi because he is officially in early access now, and I'm blown away by how much he's been able to like fine tune this game and just continue to make it addictive. And I can't play this game without playing it a billion times. Like I have to forcefully stop. I'm bad. Like there's no other way around it. I am stupid. So playing this game, but I just can't stop. It's just wonderful. If you don't know, if you're not looking at the screen here, it is a grid-based game where you're stacking Tetramino on top of each other up to 4 times, and the more you stack them when you complete a line, the more points you get. So if you could do a 4x4x4, so you think of it in a 3D space, the more points you get because they stack on top of each other. But it's represented in a 2D representation of those 3D stacks. So
it's hard to explain.
It's hard to explain, but it's so addictive. It's simple. It really is simple. It's shapes and it's numbers, and then the higher the number is up to 4 that you can match together in a straight line, you get so many more points is. And
yeah, I also love this game. It is so fucking good, man. And at like the higher speeds, like once you start getting going and you're like cycling in and out like shapes from your hold position, and you okay, Steve? Just threw up a little. But like when you're cycling in out shapes from that like hold position and you're almost doing it like instinctively just to give yourself a little bit more time.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, I think I can use that one. All right, fire. Oh fuck, I used them both. Now I have to put this piece somewhere.
Yeah.
It is really fun, and I really do think he's struck like a weird like puzzle game chord that I think is really hard to really hard to accomplish. Like it is not mind-bending, awesome puzzle game.
The puzzle community, water went down the wrong pipe. That's what I've been choking on here. So if I sound weird, that's why. The puzzle community has gotten behind this game too. If you look at Steam and look at comments and like kind of follow the game in general, like the puzzle game aficionados have gotten behind this game recently. So
as they should.
Yeah.
Since it's come out in early access. So good luck to friend of the show, Super Anthony.
Yeah, man.
The last game on our list for indie game adventures is Selaco.
This is a mad as fuck game. Let me just lead with that right off the bat. This is a game.
Oh my God.
If you built an AI construct of a 1980s to 1990s John Carmack and you asked it, hey, you just made Doom and Quake, Wolfenstein 3D. What's your next game going to be? This is the game that AI would spit out. It is like literally, it feels like it's the boomiest of shooters. It has those like flat character models, like from like the old Doom and Quake games. It is magical. It is a magical experience.
I love the lighting on the gun.
The lighting on
everything,
and the animation,
like they took every 3 frames out or something.
Yeah, the Spider-Man, Spider-Verse sort of.
Spider-Verse, yeah.
And it's got such great animation. Like there's one you can like pick up things and throw them in the air while you're playing. There's like a stack of paper I came across in the early level of the first level of the game, and you can toss. You see all these little papers just flittering down, and it's like, this is just seeing that level of detail against like PS1 N64 graphics. Like your brain is like, what am I seeing right now? But it's so much fun. It's so slick. It's so clean. You took those game sensibilities and design docs and just plugged it into modern game dev philosophy.
Yeah,
and it's beautiful.
And kind of it I wouldn't say it's like, you know, N64 graphics. Obviously, it's got much better light.
But like,
it's like that era.
It's harkening to those.
There's
edges.
a sheen of those
yeah.
assets and graphics in it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna 100% buy this game.
Gonna play that game.
You don't have to, because it's on my Steam, Matthew.
That's right.
Yeah, right. Let's go into the indie news report before we jump into the demo derby.
Why didn't you say the T?
Yeah, it's Colbert. You know,
yeah,
Colbert.
He could do it. Why not us?
News report.
No, because we're just.
You know, I'm just making it funny, making it
just said that.
Making a haha.
Making a funny.
I don't think that's that funny, Steve.
Making a giggle.
Hypercharge Unboxed has sold 100,000 copies on Xbox, and it's only just getting started. This comes from Microsoft.
This is awesome.
So they wrote the news about their game. Today we're thrilled to celebrate developer digital.
Their game.
They're excited to tell you about the sales of the game on their console.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, we did so good on
a circle jerk article and threw it up there.
Way to go.
Digital Cyber Cherries, Hypercharge Unboxed. The high octane. It is actually a really cool concept. I have this game, like I just have not been able to sit down and play it yet. This is going to be on my to-do list for next week, so I'll talk about it next week. Even though we're kind of, you know, we're a little behind on the hype. But it's a multiplayer shooter where you're action figures in a toy store. So like the owner of the store locks the doors, goes home for the night, and the toys come alive and start shooting each other, and it's great. And it looks great, and it looks hilarious. So yeah, no, this is good news, especially because you know it's 100,000 sold, and it's also on Game Pass.
Right.
So,
well, so this is.
Oh, is it? I don't think it was on Game Pass.
I think so. Yeah, I think it is.
This is one of those games.
I don't think it is.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure it is, but we can double check that.
Go ahead, Matt.
Go ahead, Matt. Yeah.
So I was gonna say, because I thought a while ago we were having that discussion about how Game Pass affects game sales and how that affects indie devs, and I thought for some reason that this game got brought up as like the antithesis to that idea being a negative. But I don't know. I'm not for sure 100% that it is on Game Pass. Either way, awesome for these guys. Like, I don't know if you guys saw it, but like when they hit 50K, the developer tweeted a video of him like openly weeping at how happy he was that his game sold that many copies.
And that wasn't that long ago either.
I know, and now we're at double that. So he's got to be over the moon, man. That's so cool. This whole team must be over the moon. Yeah.
You'll love to see it. It's like, I think it's like about 7 people on this team that made this game.
Yeah, I want to play it too.
Project.
It looks so fun, and it's just like it's such a stupid evolution of like the Army Men games from like the N64 PS1, but just like watching the spawning animation of the guy like popping out of the fucking toy box and like grabbing your accessories from your toy box to like arm yourself.
It is not on Game Pass. It is not on Game Pass.
That's rad. Yeah, good for them. Great. Well, so this isn't the antithesis. This isn't the arguments against.
I forget which one it was that we were talking about, but we could listeners, go back to our old episodes and tell us what game the hell we're talking about.
Because we're dumb and we don't remember things.
Because we're big, dumb, stupid people. I got a cough again.
I love you both so goddamn much. As Steven is coughing into the abyss, I'm going to go ahead and read this next piece of news, which I only picked for one really good reason is the headline for this article. Mm-hmm. So here's the headline. It says, this is from gamesradar.com. Indie game dev apologizes for having, quote unquote, stepped over the line with taking inspiration, unquote, from the Sims style cozy game made by Asset Jesus.
Steve is Toad now. Did
Sorry,
you have to like
that was,
cough? Did you have to like cough into the back of Toad's face to quell your coughs? Is that what
All
happened?
right, I apologize. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Talk about the inspiration. So what happened here?
So this is a weird story. So apparently this guy Kenny L, I think his name is, or Kenny Vlugels, yeah, Kenny NL. So he's known in the community for just making a bunch of assets and just putting my niche. And it's like, hey guys, use my shit, just give me credit. For years, he's been doing this, just making assets, sharing his creativity, and making it all free to use.
That's awesome.
He has a game called Make Room, which is a Sims style diorama kind of game,
Right.
which he's had on, for a while on Steam, and he's been promoting it left and right for a while now.
The Jesus guy.
This is Jesus.
Okay. Asset Jesus.
Another indie game by a smaller indie game dev with an even smaller following, because Jesus has like 100K followers on Twitter, posted a game that's called Flora Corner, which looks strikingly similar to Make Room. And
that developer's name is Hactic.
Yes. And Kenny basically put him on blast on Twitter saying, I've dedicated my life to putting out stuff online for free. And then the one thing that I want to use that's made that for my game, I see it being copied and plagiarized, and it's just not cool. So the main thing isn't like the plagiarism part, because they've gone back and forth, both Jesus and Hactic about this game, and they've kind of like come to an agreement how like Hactic will kind of redo his assets with the help of Kenny to make it look less like his.
Right.
But the main argument is, should this have been a Twitter discussion? Because there was a bit of a pylon happening on the smaller dev.
Well, yeah. I mean,
because you have a guy with a larger megaphone, but larger megaphone guy has had a history of mental illness that he's, he makes no qualms about. He talks about it online all the time. And now he's getting a lot of hate for what he's done. So that's where we are with this particular story.
People need to stay out of the
private people are business. Bored.
People need to stay out of their business. Let them work it out. If you don't want to support a person who clearly took the assets from another person who put those assets up, but used it to basically make another version of the thing that person made, I mean, clearly something that's not cool. So let them work it out. They worked it out. They're cool now. Great. Everything's cool. Just remember, anything that you put on the internet is going to be seen, taken, and used by someone else. It's just what's going to happen. Guess what? Asset Jesus. I was going to say Cyber Jesus. Asset Jesus.
Lawnmower Man.
Everything you've ever put on the internet is already being programmed into an AI somewhere. So
wow. Good. Yeah. Okay.
An AI somewhere.
This is where we're gonna go with this.
See, I was like going back and forth for a bit on this, like who's right, who's wrong, and how it was handled. But then I was reading the Reddit thread about this whole situation, and Hactic was saying how there's only so many ways you can do a game in this genre, like style wise and look wise. And I was like, that doesn't really fly for me. It's like Metroidvania games. There's tons of them. Like they're not all confined to one art style or aesthetic. They can go beyond that. So that's kind of a poor excuse, in my opinion, to say like, well, these games look like this anyway. So is it really your idea, or is it just the norm for this genre?
Yeah, I think that's a cop out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think really what, like, if this guy had used a different asset set that wasn't Kenny's, maybe the story would be different. But I think it's just like the similarity between using his assets and then making a game that was kind of like Kenny's game probably was like, hey, what the hell, man? You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, like, he wasn't using his assets. The assets that he used for this game, Kenny, aren't online. It's just this person kind of looked at it for inspiration and more or less did a similar style with what Kenny was doing. So it's not like a one for one. I'm gonna take your free stuff online and put it in my game. These assets don't exist for free to grab on any storefront. It's just what he's doing for this game only that isn't,
listen,
for folks to use.
Make people make mistakes.
Yeah,
you
I think that's,
again,
yeah,
people are bored and have empty lives and looking for a reason to dogpile on people. It just sucks all around. It's like indie game devs shouldn't be fighting.
Man,
they should be coming together and
water in the lungs. No joke.
Yeah, man. You're getting hit hard. Quit it.
All right, so now we're gonna get into the demo derby. These are our game demo impressions. Matt and Andy both brought one of these to the table today, and we're gonna start with Ammosum.
I am not impressioned.
Are you a possum?
Yeah,
it's Ammosum.
Ammosum, yeah. I was going ammo because of the guns.
I want to like this game really badly because there's some really, really cool ideas in here. So it's kind of like a horde survival, except instead of being in the center and everything coming towards you, you're trying to protect what's behind you, and enemies come from the right side of the screen. The kicker that killed me is that you can't freely aim. You can only move up, down, left, and right. There's no aiming in the game at all. You're you can only shoot directly forward. And so in that way, it's like a little bit of like an arcade callback, but it was so jarring to have like a reticle in front of me and not be able to move it. The ideas here that are cool are this like building your weapon idea and then also building your train car. So every couple of waves, every wave, your train will come by at the end of the wave. Like it flips to 3D, different perspective. The train comes by and like you'll have your train conductor and then he'll give you items that were picked up during that round. And then every couple, you'll go to a shop, or rather a town, and you can go to a shop and buy some stuff. You can upgrade gear. You can...
Uh-oh.
No shit, Matt died.
Matt has died. I thought I died again. I was like, no,
it was you too.
I fixed this. Okay, so Matt,
you got whole new hardware.
Yeah, I'm new hardwared up, ladies and germs.
The game dev came in and took Matt out because he was speaking poorly about the indie game.
Yeah, it's like it's just a demo, you jerk.
Whoa.
Hey, bud, welcome back.
That was
Mr.
weird.
Matt Murray.
Hey, what happened? How much of that did you guys catch?
You were doing a good amount. Yeah, a good amount. But you were almost you were in lion face. You're like, you could go to town and buy stuff.
So yeah, you can go to town and buy stuff. Did I explain the buying train cars part? Did you get that part?
Yes.
Okay, so the coolest part I think is like the building your own gun ammo type weapon. So as you're going through these levels, you're picking up different items. They can be upgraded, and some of them will have slots. And each item that has a slot, if you affix it to another item, that slot appears on the first item. And so you're building this like long chain of different things. So like I was saying, you can start with like a bow, and then you can upgrade it, and it's a crossbow. So now it fires like super fast. But then that crossbow now shoots cactuses. And you're like, okay, cool. But then like where that cactus lands, now it explodes into a bunch of different spines. Like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then it's like, okay, but all of those spines then explode into other arrows that also explode. And so now you just have like a screen full of shit. And so there's this really interesting like genome building kind of with your weapon where you're just kind of expanding it as much as possible and trying to find cool synergies, combinations, and such.
Awesome.
So I think there's some really good ideas. The not being able to aim is just so weird.
Well, it's Q1 2025 release. They have a year to add
a little less
some aiming.
Here's what I think. One thumb is all you need.
One thumb is all
I think
need.
this is all you. I think this
One
is
thumb.
made for mobile. No, just up and down. Just doing this.
Well, but you can go in and out too.
Yeah, you can do this. Yeah, just go like that.
Yeah, this could
No
be a good mobile
tapping.
game.
No. You
Do
know what
things like ricochet too?
Well, no.
Looking at
So
the
that's
little-
so there's like ricochet. Like there's all kinds of different effects you can unlock. But the weirder thing is that you use your mouse to shoot.
I mean? Yeah.
So like you click to shoot.
Oh, you see, that kind of like makes you think that it is going to be like a multi-directional kind of aiming.
Like I could see like
Ew.
WASD fucking spacebar or whatever, but
Maybe you're doing it wrong.
I'm not. I don't think here's why I think it's so jarring and why I think it's a problem is I think it artificially makes the game more difficult, and I don't think that restricting the game in that way is like a interestingly creative enough choice to warrant not aiming. I don't like that part at all. I think it's not good game design. But yeah, I mean, I'm still amped to see where this goes. The other mechanics in the game are well worth checking out, and you can download the demo now.
Awesome. And our final demo in the demo derby is mouthwashing. Mouthwashing. It's just so
you not
gross.
get the you can't get the words out.
It's just
Hey, you might
Gross.
need some mouthwash. Dude,
this
you
is
okay?
Gross.
So
Mouthwashing.
mouthwashing is
Oh, dude, I don't know. Putting the ing at the end, you're right. That's gross.
is a first person horror game. Let me describe it to you.
I'm just saying, like, if you say like mouth,
Too many
you say like
eyeballs.
mouthwash, it's like okay, yeah,
Yeah,
but like
mouthwashing.
mouthwashing, it sounds like a weird fetish.
It's like because you're in the active doing the
You're
mouthwash.
actively mouthwashing.
Yes. So the basic premise is you're on some like freighter cargo transporter ship in space, and I think your captain tries to kill you. He's the guy that has no skin in the little trailer video over there. If you guys are watching that, he has like just no skin. He's all bandaged up. And it's him and 4 other survivors on this ship. You're lost in space. There's no way of getting out. You're low on food. So the demo takes you through a very short, it's like maybe like a 10, 20-minute long demo at most. And you're just exploring the ship. And you have to, at one point, give painkillers to the captain because he's all sorts of burnt and fucked up with his skinless, armless,
This is the mouthwashing.
handless self.
The mouthwashing.
And it's really
someone's mouthwash.
intense. Yes. So you get painkillers, and it's a really close zoom on his face, and you go to inventory, select painkillers. It's like, oh, his mouth isn't open, so you gotta like move the cursor on his mouth and click it open, so it goes like you pop in the painkillers, then you hear him munching on him. It's a gross sound effects, but the really great sound design. And as you're walking around and exploring the ship, there's an odd thing where there's what appears to be
none of that was the odd thing.
No. That is not the odd thing. The skinless, handless, burnt up, fucked up, bloody guy
with his mouth
is
noise.
not the oddity here.
Listen to me chew painkillers for half an hour.
There's what looks like, I think, is teeth all over the ship. There's like just teeth coming out of the ceilings and the walls and the floor.
Are you in the mouth?
And no one's talking about it.
Oh, you're the
There's just
mouthwashing.
teeth. Now, after you give the guy the painkillers,
Yeah.
it's like, we've done this. We're starving. We had a delivery of something we had to get to, and we were told not to go look at it, but we're starving. Let's go check it out. So you punch in a code and go in the store, and it's boxes and boxes of mouthwash. And one guy starts chugging the bottle.
Okay.
Because it's like
Steve is just upset
he's
now.
like he's crawling out of his skin.
Steve is done. Steve just
and I think
that tone, man. That tone was so good. Okay.
And I think the idea is that you're gonna live off of mouthwash.
Oh my god.
That's like a core thing. And then like you see the mouthwash, and then it's like a little like flashback cutscene or whatever the hell. In this
Before the
and
gingivitis.
the fades and the transitions are really well made, by the way. And you see like burnt up Captain Guy, and he's like, "Oh, there's cake. Let's have cake." And he's like speaking to you, but he has no fucking lips, so it's weird.
I hate it.
And he's like, "Go get a knife for the cake." So you walk out, and there's like an axe. So you grab this axe, and then you come back, and it's him lying on the table where the cake was. And then you go to like,
Oh, he's the cake.
Is it cake?
you do a cut, and then demo ends. And I'm like, I need this in my life. Between the mouthwash and the teeth,
everyone's tripping balls
and the
from
skinless
drinking
guy.
mouthwash.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Despite how
it's
gross
just-
that all sounded, it looks
just
very cool.
It's just so weird looking. It's like it's PS1, but not. It's like kind of like a more high res lo-fi crunchiness is going on there.
It looks like a 3DS
Well, probably high quality
game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, Nintendo would love this.
Yeah, Nintendo's all about teeth,
All about that.
teeth being coming out of walls.
Okay.
All right. Well. Okay, we're gonna move on. So this is gonna be a little bit different. We're not gonna get too deep into the next two sections here, but this is now our wish list roundup. These are games that caught our attention that we didn't play, but they look really cool because you can't play them yet. So, we're gonna go with Evo Tinction, I believe, is first up on the list.
Dude, this looks like fucking Metal Gear and Death Stranding rolled into one. It's I think it has like an 8-year dev cycle, but it's like a few months out from release, and it just looks phenomenal.
What like this and Akimbo? Like these look like fucking like PS5, Xbox.
Dude, this is
Series X
phenomenal.
games. This is crazy.
It's the power of the Unreal Engine, I think.
So it's like you're in some facility, you can hack robots and shit, and it's just wild looking, and it's
From
again,
Spike
it's like
Wave Games.
Looks dope.
Hopefully,
I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit
the
so
show.
that we could show a little bit more of what the we go there. Yeah, it's sneaky, walk around doing the thing. Looks like a fun time.
Yeah,
I'm about that life. I am about that life. I always worry about games like that because they look way more like impressive
Polished.
in those vertical slices.
Yeah.
and they're much harder to deliver on.
The thing is, like, you would like
Excuse me.
it gives off the vibe of like, oh, it's my first project out of college. Like I just like got out of Full Sail University, and here's my like Unreal 5 tech demo.
Yep.
But again, it's like 8 years in development, and it looks amazing. I think there's been some previews too. I think it plays really well, but definitely on my list for September.
Awesome. The next one is Lost in the Roots. This is a 2D adventure with a twisted story about guilt, where a girl is kidnapped and held in the attic somewhere in the countryside. So, trigger alert. Why and who took the girl to this godforsaken place? What to do when there is nowhere to run?
I found this on the Silent Hill Reddit the other day, and some guy was promoting it, the dev, and I'm like,
oh God.
Hand drawn. There's like this giant monster situation. It looks all kinds of cool, and I'm here for it.
This does look incredible, but
love the art.
Horrific, horrifying.
The little boy throwing his own head at you. Yeah, I'm down for that.
I'm pretty sure there was a vagina in one of these pictures. In one of those images.
It's all a metaphor for a vagina.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
So I mean, that's everything, right?
It's just, man.
Next,
right? Project Dosa. Platform through a vibrant world in an upgradable mech and cook delicious meals. That's a sentence. Fight off corpos in turn-based combat, discover new recipes, build up your reputation with the local communities, and bond with friends and family on a journey to taste everything life has to offer. This is by
I gotta tell you,
Outer Loop Games.
Watching the trailer of this, it was really surprising when the dev popped up on screen like immediately. I was like, "Whoa,
big scary!" But
looks
no,
cool.
this game does look gorgeous and like a lot of fun. I like when devs, because you could tell like cooking means something to the developer, right? Like it's like a core aspect of like growing up and putting it into this kind of like 3D, I guess kind of RPG action platformer RPG. I don't know, turn-based, whatever. Yeah, it looks great. Throw it on the wish list.
Yeah,
like this and like the first game, it's blowing my mind that this is where indie games
and
are at.
this is the guy that made Falcon Age too. We know this
Oh,
guy.
cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
all right.
Yeah. Chasing Rat Games also has a fun little game called Worship.
Oh my God.
Incite the end of the world as a devout zealot of an eldritch god in this multiplayer Pikmin-inspired roguelite.
Sure will.
Don the robes of a cultist, perform bloody rituals, and expand your influence over an army of followers in this cute yet grim world. Is your devotion strong enough to please the old ones?
This looks awesome.
This is incredible. And also, Chasing Rats Games is the best name for his game studio.
What is it with cults being a thing lately?
There's a lot of them.
You know what I mean? Like in video games, like making cults and stuff, worshiping things and whatnot. Crush your enemies. What's combat
screaming.
like? Oh, it is like Pikmin. Oh my God, you're throwing your followers at them?
Yeah, dude.
It's incredible.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be good.
I love the color choice too. It's like really simple, but like it just little points like a red, purple, black. It's just
yellow. Yeah, everything kind of like pops nice.
I love it. I love it so hard.
It's got a little bit of that Cult of the Lamb flavoring to it. Eldritch horrors. This is it's the Eldritch horror. I think is like the flavor of the 2020s. I feel like good stuff. I'm about that life. And if you are looking for cheap games, we do want to tell you about the Indie Steal of the Week. It is the Steam Summer Sale, so we're just going to rattle off a couple of games that might interest you. We're not going to show you them. We're not going to talk deep about them. But as Matt mentioned earlier, Against Great Darkness is available on the cheap. We also have Cookie Cutter, which was a pick of ours as well. Into the Necrovale was handpicked here, and Sprawl. I remember Sprawl. Sprawl was also picked as a steal of the week. So go to the summer sale, and if any games you pick those four.
Secret, Sprawl may be my game of the year.
Oh,
holy shit! That's a loaded statement.
There's rocket jumps. Rocket jumps.
Your game of the year from 2023.
Like the mechanic
it doesn't matter.
of rocket jumps.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck rocket jumps.
Oh,
shotgun jumps.
Yeah.
What's it with you and like? If it's not a knee saw, it's a shotgun jump. It's like we gotta find the next thing.
Man. give me boomer shooters with interesting mechanics. I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Like wall running, slow motion, shotgun jumping, pistol head, slow mo, shoot you in the face. Give it to me right now. I want it. Thanks. Bye.
And to close out our segments of the week, our Kickstarter of the week, we do have an update. Lone Fungus 2 was not funded. It got about halfway to its goal, maybe a little bit more than halfway to its goal. But the developer, Basti, is going to go back to the drawing board, make some changes. He took a lot of feedback, so I don't think this is the last we're going to see of Lone Fungus 2. Probably end of the year, we'll probably get some more news.
Yeah,
but
it has been pretty uplifting watching him on Twitter, because despite this not getting funded, he's been like pumping out new gifs of parts of the game and stuff like that. So I think he's probably mad that it didn't get, or upset, but it seemed like he was pretty positive in this update, and in general he took it in stride. So I'm really glad that this didn't like completely deflate his balloon, and that we'll see more of this.
And that's going to bring us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this week on this slightly condensed version of the indieRift podcast. If you want to be a part of the show, go to patreon.com/indieRift and join our Discord. As little as $1. Get in our Discord. You could we'll tell you what games we're going to talk about this week, tell you what developers we're going to be interviewing that week, so that you can ask questions and get them read on the show. We had nothing new this week, but hopefully next week we have some more, as our listeners go down the games that we gave them, and maybe they have opinions that we didn't, which is always fun. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, listeners and viewers. And as always, please be excellent to each other.